Hey, how's it going? This is Kyle with Clawhammer Supply, the largest homebrew channel on the internet. We typically make videos showing you how to make your own beer at home. Today we're not going to do that. We're going to be talking about soda water. I used to drink a ton of this stuff until I discovered something much better. So I'm going to tell you why I don't drink this anymore, why you shouldn't drink it anymore, and what you should drink instead, and I'm going to show you how to make it. This is what I now drink instead of soda water. It is hop water. This stuff is absolutely delicious. It's healthier than soda water. The problem is it is absurdly expensive. It's even more expensive than nice beer. So I asked myself, how hard would it be to make a big batch of this stuff and either keg it or bottle it and have it on tap all the time at home for a fraction of the price? And that's what we're gonna do today. All right, the first thing we're gonna do is fill our kettle with water. You may not realize this, but soda water is fairly acidic. It has a pH of about 4.5 or less even. Tap water pH is pretty high. It's like 6 to 7. We're gonna need to lower the pH. First thing I'm gonna do is measure it to see where we are at. So we're gonna have to lower the pH. We did this using some lactic acid. We've boiled it because we're pasteurizing it. We wanna make sure that any bugs or microbes that are in there get killed before we move on with the process. I'm just going to cool it down now that we've pasteurized the liquid and then add some hops. That should give us a lot of hop aroma without the bitterness. In this video, we're using Clawhammer's 10.5 gallon brewing system. If you're trying to do this in your kitchen at home, we do have a version of hop water that we made using just regular kitchen equipment. So that video will be at the end of this video. Check it out if you want to do this at home. Some of you watching this video might not be very familiar with hops. Let's talk about that really quickly. Hops are one of the primary ingredients in beer. I have a few bags of hops with me here. I'm gonna read off some of the characteristics. Berry, melon, lime, apple, papaya, green pepper, apricot, grass, floral, blueberry, tangerine, papaya, melon, gooseberry, and lychee. As you can see, hop water that you make is going to be far more complex in its taste and aroma than any kind of soda water you would buy from a grocery store. A lot of people mix and match hops for IPAs, for example. I like to do oftentimes just one single hop, and this one's kind of jumping out at me, Mount Hood. Option 1 for serving would be you use a little mini keg or a big keg if you have one, a CO2 tank, and a picnic tap. Before we do anything else, what I need to do is sanitize this. I'm gonna use this stuff. It's called Star San. It's just like a weak acid that will kill any little microbes or bugs or anything that are in here. So you always want to thoroughly clean, which I've already done, and then sanitize, which I'm doing now. Anything that your beer or hop water or whatever you're brewing comes into contact with. Before I can actually carbonate this, I need to chill it down to roughly serving temperature. You can't really carbonate warm liquid. We've done several videos on this, which I will put in a playlist at the end of this video. Option 2 for serving would be to bottle. This process uses a tiny bit of sugar and some yeast to naturally carbonate the hop water. One of the things you need for this process is a bucket with a little pour spout on the bottom. We're gonna fill our bottling bucket with the rest of the hop water. So next thing we're gonna do is to add the yeast. We don't wanna add it straight to the bucket, it'll just float on top. We need to rehydrate it in a little jar of water, shake it up, create what's called a slurry, and then we will add it. So I need to just rinse these bottles out with Star San. which I will do first. We're gonna use what's called a bottling wand. It doesn't let liquid come out until you push the wand down onto the bottom of the bottle. It makes it a lot easier to fill the bottle without overflowing it. All right, the last really important thing I need to explain is that you don't want to put these bottles straight into the refrigerator. They need to hang out at room temp for at least a week or two for the yeast to do its thing.